fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Hello everyone. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? With Lance and Owen today.
Get to the fucking intro, Cody. I'm just kidding.
I have to look up like a Shakespearean greeting real quick. Like fucking, how do you spell Shakespeare?
S-H-A.
No, I got it. I don't need help. Fuck, I dropped my microphone. Alright, hold on, wait.
Good morrow to you, young one.
Mistress, what cheer? How dost thou do? How fares thee? Alright.
How fares thee, bro?
How fares thee, fellow podcast listeners? Good morrow.
So joining me as usual, Lance and Owen today.
Does mother know if you wear her drapes? I can't.
Dost thou not
up.
know? I can't think of anything funny to say in fucking like Shakespearean English.
Oh yeah, well hey, that Batman episode, you really fucked me over, so I appreciate it. You don't want to ruin Cody's shit though.
Dost thou? Yeah. I mean, if I was smart enough to figure out something that'd be funny to say, I would.
Well, today we are discussing the 2015 film The Witch. And before I get into the details of the film, I'll ask each of you what your experiences are with this film. So, Lance, you go first, please, sir.
This was my first time watching it.
Okay, all right.
But I had seen that scene where the baby disappears when she's doing the peekaboo thing. Like, That was extremely familiar to me for some reason. Like, I had seen that scene on YouTube, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, this was the first time I ever sat down and watched the movie. And it took me a couple of watchings, well, 2 watchings, because I did one late at night, and I was tired and scared, so I had to finish it the next day. I'm like, let me go to sleep, and I'll get up early to watch it. Well, early was fucking 10 a.m. So I was like, oh, I guess I better go ahead and watch it now. So, yeah. But this is the first time watching it for me.
Okay. Owen, what about you, sir?
All right, so back when I lived on Plymouth Rock, about 1642.
It's like I fucking lived this shit.
No, I think a year or two ago, I watched this movie after I had watched The Lighthouse, because The Lighthouse intrigued me to Robert Eggers, and I wanted to watch the first movie he made. And I remember watching this and being like, "Damn, that's a pretty damn good first movie for a director."
Yeah, I agree. So for me, this is probably my 4th or 5th time watching this. I had originally watched it when it first released on DVD and Blu-ray. I had gone out and rented it from Redbox. And I remember having to turn the subtitles on that first time because I could not understand the father in the movie because he speaks in such like a low, gravelly voice on top of having like that period accurate English that they speak. So I was like,
I would like to have this dude like narrate something for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he has like a fucking wonderful voice, this dude.
Yeah,
especially it's all gravelly, and then eventually it smooths out throughout the movie. But like the first when he's doing what is like echoed in that fucking building, like that voice is just so fucking gravelly. I'm like, man, this fucking puts Sam Elliott to shame.
Yeah, he's a cool star. He's a cool lead, or I guess he's not the lead. Anya Taylor-Joy's the lead, and this is her first lead. But his
is her
voice
film
is really
debut.
Cool. Yeah,
I believe.
She played, which is funny, because, I mean, spoiler alert, she becomes a witch at the end. But in the Northman...
Yeah,
the Northman, which is that new movie...
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays a sorceress, which is kind of funny. I'm like, hey, look at that. Which I haven't watched that movie. So.
And, of course, like, this definitely, like, put her on the map, for sure, because she started appearing in a lot of films after this. But I did want to say that when I watched it today, just to refresh my memory, because the last time I watched this was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it like at 4:30 this morning in the pitch black by myself with headphones on.
Yeah.
Did it scare you any?
The only part that like kind of unsettled me was when toward the end when they're in the barn and the witch shows up in there with them when she's like drinking the milk from the goat or whatever.
Yeah.
The blood from
See,
that was fucking gross.
that didn't scare me because I mean I do that all the time.
Oh yeah.
I go out naked and start sucking on goat titty.
So let me run through some of the basic details of the film. So the movie is the directorial debut of Robert Eggers. He also wrote the film. It is scored by Mark Corvin, who also scored Cube, The Lighthouse, and The Black Phone. This movie premiered in theaters on February 19th, 2016. It did premiere at a film festival the year before, which is why we're calling it a 2015 film, but theatrical debut was February 19th, 2016. It had a budget of $4 million, and it drew a box office of $40.4 million. So yeah, I mean, that's just some of the basic stuff. Obviously, we've kind of talked about Anya Taylor-Joy being, she is basically the lead of the film. The other characters get a decent amount of screen time, sorry, with the exception of the old witch. She only appears on screen, 4 times in the whole thing?
Yeah, I thought only maybe twice. Unless,
well,
no, I mean, if you count no, you're saying the old witch?
Well, I would assume that the witch that Caleb encounters in the woods is the old witch. She's just disguising herself as a young... Yeah.
That's the way I looked at it, too. Of course, at the end, you see that orgy of witches at the end.
Yeah, the witch's coven.
Yeah, it's like the witch's Sabbath or some shit, but I wish they were having an orgy. That'd be cool.
It's funny watching that scene because I mean, they all start lifting up in the air, and one of them has a broomstick that goes right up against like her pelvic region. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, that actress is probably like,
pussy splinters.
Oh gosh.
So,
but it's just funny. Like the real quick question.
Yeah.
Did anybody else think the twin kids were like fucking brats?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're like little assholes.
Yeah.
Like everybody's listening to this, and I would not say this like to a real person, but figuratively because these are characters. I'm looking at them as characters, not as the actors playing the characters. But I would shake those children like you do with shaking baby syndrome. Or the mom like does it and it fucks the kid up or whatever. I would do that to those kids because they're literally like, and they're acting like their brother, like, dad's real mad, let's just fucking stay real still. And it's like, get up, you fuckers! Like, it's so weird. That part infuriated me for some reason. Like, I was seeing red. I'm like, these kids are brats.
Wait, what part?
The part where Caleb's come back from the woods.
Oh, okay, yeah, and he's like having,
like, and they're accusing her of being a witch, which obviously she's not at that point. Bitch. But then they start doing they're like twisting around on the ground and they're just laying real fucking still and shit.
Yeah, and
they're obviously acting, but it's just so fucking stupid. That scene irritated me.
I mean, it kind of backfires that Thomason tells them that she's the witch of the wood, and they obviously throw that back at her later on. But
yeah, that part was pretty.
I did want to ask you. I did want to ask you guys what your overall opinions of the film are. So I'll start with Owen this time.
I mean, yeah, I like this movie a lot. I think it's a really atmospheric and creepy, or not creepy, but this movie knows how to push your buttons, and that's really something that I think is like I said, impressive for a first-time director, that this movie knows how to, despite its setting, despite the language, knows how to kind of get under your skin with like the music, the cinematography, and the subject matter. Yeah, I mean, I just like it. I think it's a great movie.
What about you, Lance?
I was talking to Owen before we were able to connect with you on call. And this scene of the scene where we're going to talk about in a few minutes, where Caleb kisses the witch. The scene, the music's so fucking loud in your face. Like we're talking like commando levels of music in your face. But I was telling Owen that scene reminded me of when Jack kisses the old woman in the Shining movie, the original Shining movie, and the music's so fucking loud. And there's just scenes in that movie of The Shining where the music's like so loud in your face to kind of like force a feeling on you, and this movie does that too. So this movie's almost kind of like Stanley Kubrick making a witch movie almost.
Yeah, that scene has actually been compared before to that same scene from The Shining. It's very
okay. I'm glad it's just not me just being fucking stupid then.
Yeah, it's very similar in structure, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the movie's really well done. These movies always get to me, like especially on the first time watch. Just like, I've told the story before, but I think it's funny. It deserves a retelling. I had watched The Conjuring in the movie theater with my buddy Alex and his brother. Maybe it was just his brother. I feel like it was his brother and it was Jacob and Alex. And I watched it, and the next morning I had to get up and go take Alex to work because his car was in the shop. Well, I was kind of in a daze, and at the time I had sleep apnea, so that's why I was always so groggy when I would wake up. I didn't realize it. But my dad woke me up to get me up to go, because I work night shift. Alex had to work in the morning. And I wake up and I look over at the door, my doorway, and I see this hooded figure floating towards me with his hands outstretched to wake me up. And I do this like Liu Kang bicycle kick out of bed. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's my dad. He goes, what? And he was wearing his black Minnesota Vikings hoodie, and obviously he was walking towards me, but that's all I saw. And it was it was like somebody hit the fast forward button in my mind. And I go, nothing, man. I'm good. Give me just a minute and I'll leave. Like, I was kind of like choked up a little bit. So, like, the haunting movies and, like witch supernatural movies kind of get some, like, I don't know, some deep thing inside my brain where I'll dream about it, or I'll be like afraid of the dark for a couple hours. But usually the second showing, it's not that scary for me. Like, these movies are like a good one watch for me, but the movie's really well done. It was unnerving. I was uncomfortable and all those things. And, I can watch a Friday the 13th movie and a Halloween movie and not be like bothered by it because I like those movies. It's like watching pro wrestling because it's a dude in a mask killing people. But when you get like this nitty gritty, gory, like you see the witch, obviously she's not actually doing it, but she's got blood in her face, so she's drinking blood from a goat's tit, pretty much.
Yeah.
And just like like wiping the blood all over her body and all that kind of crap, and that kind of stuff is like extremely unnerving to me. So this movie did bother me like it's supposed to, and it's really well done. So that's just a long way to win that thought. So I'm a scaredy cat, and this movie got to me.
This movie is definitely it is one of my definitely in my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. It's we've talked about this briefly before, but it's sort of the start of what's considered elevated horror, where everything's not so like in your face all the time. There's a lot of subtlety to it, and just the way it's filmed is excellent. It keeps you, and it also makes you wonder throughout the film, is this really happening? Is there something else going on here? Is Thomas actually a witch?
Yeah. I like how it plays with that a little bit. Like, so, if you don't know the twist, at first you're kind of thinking like, oh, this has to be like, you still have like that idea that this could still be like a logical kind of like, or, that there could be no witch or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think that first like 10 minutes establishes like, no, it's really a fucking witch. If I hadn't like spoiled a little bit for myself going on Wikipedia on the plot, I would have just thought the kids were being like dumbasses talking to the goat.
Yeah.
Like the goat actually wasn't talking to them.
I
and
think
maybe the goat actually wasn't talking to them. They're just, posing as that.
I guess I think that's what I mean. I mean, of course you go with the understanding that there is going to be like a witch in the movie, but I like how it plays with elements like that, with like them talking to the goat and stuff like that. you kind of like little hints like that kind of go under the radar, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Phillip, blam blam. Oh, Black Phillip, blam
Bam,
blam.
lamb.
Black Phillip.
No, wait.
There's-
Blah, blah. I'm here all week, people. I'm here all week.
Yeah, there's a popular fan theory actually about that a lot of the events in the film are just sort of hallucinated by the family because the corn is going bad. It's rotting. So a lot of people actually misattribute that rot as ergot, which historians believe is actually a contributing factor to the hysteria surrounding the witch trials and everything, because it is a very hallucinogenic, fungus or bacteria or whatever.
I don't know if that's the case.
But
I mean,
it doesn't grow. It doesn't actually grow on corn. It grows on wheat and rye, and we never actually see them eat any wheat or rye or anything. They're corn. They're farming corn. So
I'll say. Smoke weed every day. I'll say this, like, I think that's historians trying to look back and like giving a reason why. Especially, historians they do the best they can to be skeptical of supernatural events because that's their job, or people that try to be like realistic about stuff. But seeing how people interact with other people on social media. The witch trials doesn't seem that crazy to me.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of it was just like,
it's the same hysteria.
If you believe that this stuff could actually happen and does happen, then you're going to be like going and looking for somebody. You're going to look for some justice or something. If in your worldview stuff like this can happen.
Yeah, well, we also know that based on different records, it's like, oh, so-and-so's neighbor accused them of being a witch, and then, oh, how convenient that whenever they were executed, that neighbor took their land, so it's like, a lot of it was that, but, it's just saying that some people who actually believe that they saw these sort of things may have actually hallucinated a lot of it because of,
they tried shrooms for the first time and didn't know it.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I figured for this one we would actually run through a quick overview of the plot, if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this isn't like a commonly like movie that's in my vocabulary. So it's not like Commando where I can be like, hey, remember this, and that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to mention the film takes place in 1630, and
30.
A fun fact, or an interesting fact, I guess, is Stephen King has actually stated that this film terrified him. So,
I wonder what Stanley Kubrick would have thought. He'd been like, I hate it.
I'll actually have a quote from him. It says, because he's in the ground somewhere. So
I know. That's what I was about to be like. That was funny because I'm like, Kubrick's been dead for years. I mean. He died at least in 2001.
Hey, yeah, the Space Odyssey.
That's a joke. That's a joke because
his eyes are wide shut.
He's buried in the ditch.
He's not shining anymore. He's in a full wooden jacket. I'm sorry.
So the film opens
down in a hole.
With the family in, I guess they're in the town hall or a courthouse or something, and they're basically being given the choice of. It sounds like the father, which I can't remember the character's name already. William is a little too extreme when it comes to religion for them.
Yeah, we never know what their like ideological split is, like why they're kicking them out for, really.
Yeah, there's talk of God and everything in that conversation. So my assumption
in this whole movie really too.
It's some kind of religious difference, but we're not really privy to exactly what it is.
Right.
This is what this similar arguments like this probably caused denominations in church.
Yeah,
because you had like the Catholic Church, and then later on, the Protestant church, and then later on that branches off the Baptist, Church of Christ, Methodist.
Yeah. But basically, William's given a choice. He can either stop doing whatever it is that he's doing, or he can,
or damn his family to damnation.
Yeah, and he basically says that he can't turn his back on God or something along those lines. So his family is exiled from the village that they live in. And
he had a really cool line, like at the end of that scene. He goes, "I'm afraid I'll have to like speak against you to God or something like that." It was a really cool line, I thought, especially with his gravelly voice. Like the whole little thing, like I could deal. Like I don't remember anything that the other guy was saying when they was levying the charges against him or whatever. But when he was talking, I'm like, golly damn, it's a fucking cool sounding voice. I wish my voice sounded like that. But I would have to smoke a bunch of cigarettes to get to that point. I don't want to do that.
So yeah, they're banished, and they it's presumed that they travel for a bit, and they find a open field of sorts right next to the woods.
Next to a fucking woods. Like, no, bullshit.
Yeah,
okay?
So
I can deal with that woods. I live like woods like right behind me. And when I look out there at night, it terrifies me. Like, there's nothing out there but coyotes, and I hear them, but it still terrifies me.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna sit there and plant, like, build this little like log cabin or wherever they found this shit, and it's like, you know what? Those woods are really thick.
Yeah,
let's live right here.
Every shot we get of the woods is just like, you know, so spooky looking. Like, it like surrounds the house in every shot, and you could just, I don't know.
Could you imagine how thick that forest would be, like, if it was summertime? Because, like, there's no leaves on anything. Obviously, this is, like, fall going into winter. But, like, as thick as that forest would be, that would look like a fucking rainforest almost.
Yeah, we have to assume that they've been there at least for a few months, because they had time to actually build the house and a little barn and all this. No,
they killed the people that lived there. It's like, yeah, it's our place now.
And they
literally killed they did what the Puritans did and killed the Indians that made that place.
Owen, and that would be Native Americans.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
And they start growing corn. So I mean, they've been there for a while because there's corn growing and all that. But unless there's a cornfield already there, but I didn't see one.
For some reason, Cody's phone broke out. I thought Cody said there's a porn field right there. I'm like, damn, okay.
They're just fucking. They're like.
William,
anytime they break open, every time they break open a shield of corn, you hear that Pornhub thing. Like, this is a porn field. It's a porn field.
So it jumps ahead a few months, and everyone's doing their jobs, right? They're all working, tilling the field and going hunting for food. And
there's one scene that's kind of important that I don't want to skip over.
Yeah,
it's a kind of a close-up shot of Thomason praying. You know, and she's praying, like talking about her like worldly desires and stuff like that. But that's the only time they kind of brush up on it. And if you don't know what's written on the Wikipedia page, it's kind of lost on you because, it doesn't seem like throughout the whole movie that she is, trying to act on her desires. I mean, they give you hints that her little brother is having, like, conflicting desires because he's kind of staring at his sister's chest or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else that happens with her that you're like, man, this bitch is, she may not be wanting to follow the church as much. I mean, she seems like she's remorseful, but that one little scene will give you, like, okay, so she is having these desires. That's why she's kind of being pulled away from the family by this outside force.
Yeah.
So
she, Catherine gives the baby to her, which is named Samuel. And she goes and she's playing peekaboo with him, sorry. And during this game of peekaboo, Samuel disappears. And
I mean, that was fucking quick too.
Yeah. Now, this is something I didn't notice until this viewing, and I don't know, it may not be as interesting as I think it is, but when she opens her eyes and she looks up toward the woods, you can see there's a tuft, like a little shrub, and a small tree kind of like swaying, like something has run past it and like moved it.
Yeah. And
it's something I never noticed on any of my other viewings of this, and I was like, oh shit, that's actually a neat little detail right there.
That's something I didn't notice at all, because I was like, man, that was really fucking quick for this old bitch to come up and steal this child. Because as old as she is, like, I've seen these people move in my store. They don't move that fast.
Well, you also
unless you say register 3 is open.
You also got to think she is likely the hair that you see throughout the film.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she
the hare, the rabbit.
Yeah, the ugly ass rabbit.
Oh yeah, I got that. So okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, because witches can like shapeshift. That's a cool thing about this movie, I think, is that it uses, like Robert Eggers shows off, I guess, kind of how much of a nerd he is about like, the Plymouth colony and like witches and stuff. It uses a lot of like actual, mythology about witches and stuff and their powers. Like everything she does is something that, is like attested to by like the courts of the time or folklore.
Yeah, like even when in the next scene when you see the witch, the witch has killed the baby and crushed it into just a bloody mess.
Yeah,
and she's rubbing it.
The thing when she kills the baby, obviously you don't see it. She's just like rubbing blood on her and stuff like that. Do you think she put the baby's body in that butter turner and did that? Because I think that thing she's pulling stuff out is like a butter turner.
I mean, yeah, she crushed it, so probably.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I do that. That's what I would do. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So
I mean, it makes my shaking baby thing not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So real quick, here's because I pulled up a list of trivia on the movie, and since we already talked about the hare, I just wanted to bring this up. A hare appears frequently in the film. In colonial New England, hares were considered magical creatures in their own right. They were often associated with witches, either as a milk hare, which stole or spoiled milk from the farm animals, or the witch themselves, who were thought to be able to turn into a hare in order to spy on and influence people. So we kind of see both of those things in this film, because when the witch is running around as the hare, she's spying on the family, right? Yeah. And obviously she's using that to get into the barn to be able to drink milk from the goat, which eventually the thought, I think, is that she's drinking so much milk from the goat that she's basically starting to draw blood, which is why,
I gotcha.
Eventually Thomason, when she goes to milk it, it's nothing but blood.
Real quick question about that rabbit. Is there any trivia on like the actual rabbit they used?
Yeah, there's a bit of trivia. It's actually just surrounding the training of the animals themselves.
They're shitting everywhere.
So, director Robert Eggers said in an interview that the best behaved animal actor in the film was the hare, and that the raven and the horse were also easy to work with, but the goat, Black Phillip, was reportedly difficult to train. So much so that in one of the scenes when Phillip lunges, I think it's the scene where Phillip's like freaking out early on, and and William goes to try and like settle him down. The goat lunges at him, and he like grabs him or whatever to keep him steady. That wasn't part of the plan. Like the goat just reacted that way, and they went along with it.
I mean, it even seemed like at the end when he knocks him against that wood pallet. I mean, that looked real. Like he actually like hit him.
Yeah, and I thought so too before, because I had heard that there was like a mishap with the goat during this filming, but watching it this time, I was paying closer attention, and like the way that it's just shot, it's probably more than likely someone using like a stuffed goat head or something to like shove into him, because you never fully see the goat hit him.
Oh yeah,
you only see like the top of his head and like the horns and stuff.
I didn't.
And you don't even see his body like hit the thing. You just see all the wood fall upon him, and then when Anna Joy, or whatever her name is, like walks back over to him, that's when you see his head sticking out of the wood pile that fell on him. But you don't even see that. You just see like he's doing that look, "Oh Father, forgive me," and then he gets hit. But then the next scene is the goat running away, which is still funny to me because I don't know. There's something about this goat, and then you just see the wood pile hit it. Like later on, the music's really loud, and she's about to walk into the goat barn, and then this is the scene where Satan's going to talk to her, and the music's so loud. I wonder if they have that music so loud because someone's like, "Get the fucking goat in here," and the goat's like, "Okay." He just goes trotting into the barn. Like, it had to have been something like that. Which is just so funny to me.
It's crazy to me because they, like I said, the goat apparently was difficult to work with, but there are scenes where like the two young children are just like sitting right next to the goat while it's laying there. Yeah. And I have to wonder if like the people behind the camera were just like, please don't do anything to these kids.
Yeah, please don't grab the goat. Like, there's one scene where that little girl's like right next to the goat's ear, going, "It's free real estate," and and it's just like the goat's just kind of staring at the camera, like, yeah. It's almost like if you look at that scene, it looks like the little girl's like his hype man, and the goat's about to do a rapping like video or something like that. But the one thing I noticed about the hair is like its eyes were like black and brown. It almost had like human eyes.
Yeah, some rabbits have.
And then the goat has like black eyes with like brown pupils too, almost like human eyes, which is really cool.
Yeah, the goat's eyes, or the hare's eyes, were definitely kind of unsettling to look at.
I wonder if they were digitized,
like Digimon, digital monsters.
Digitized. Nah, I mean some rabbits straight up just have eyes like that. Like,
yeah,
it was pretty crazy. I wonder how they did that scene with the dog too. Like you hear the dog go, "Ooh," and then you just see the body kind of breathing and its guts hanging out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they just it was trained to lay down, and they put some like fake guts and stuff all over it to,
I just think of that goat just like running around because they can't control it, and him just shitting everywhere. Just like, because that's what goats do. Like they just shit, and it's just funny because you just watch them. It just pops that poop. They involuntarily, almost like a bird, do it.
Yeah, me too.
So
yeah, that's it. And most of my customers at the store do too.
Yeah. God. So when in the scene where the witch is rubbing all the blood and stuff all over, that is a remedy that witches were actually accused of using at the time. That it was basically called flying ointment. So like they rub it on themselves and on something like a broom handle or whatever, so that they could fly. Which I actually have the fact.
I just want to fly.
Well. I just want to fly.
I was doing the POD song.
I just want to fly. But
Hey, when she was rubbing the blood all over her body, she goes, "We are youth of the nation."
So the fact I have about that: the rendered fat of an unbaptized, usually male baby, is an ingredient in witches' flying ointment, along with poisonous and hallucinogenic herbs such as belladonna, hemlock, nightshade, and wolfsbane. Supposedly, a witch would rub this flying ointment on herself and her broom in order to fly. Baby Sam was taken in the film to make this ointment. So yeah,
and now that stuff is made as preparation H.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it turns out it treats hemorrhoids.
Cures hemorrhoids.
Turns out it does make you fly
to the bathroom.
Yeah, makes some hemorrhoids fly right off you.
And an interesting thing too, later in the film when they're locked in the barn, you hear a crash on the roof, and I think that they want you to make the connection that she probably flew over to the barn and landed on top of it.
It's a satanic Santa. They're looking up like, is it Santa?
It's Krampus.
Oh God.
Or it's Belschnickel. That's an Office reference, but let's move on. So obviously Catherine is distraught about the baby being gone.
Catherine is the mother. Let's just make sure
Yes, Catherine is
William's
the mother.
dead. Catherine's the mom.
Yeah. There are three females in the household, and that's Catherine, the mother, Thomason, the oldest daughter, and Mercy, the youngest daughter, the twin. So she's basically blaming Thomason for this happening. The William and Caleb go out to the woods to hunt. They go to check a trap, and that's when you see the hare for the first time. And William tries to shoot it, but the gun backfires into his face. And that's sort of like, I think, the first hint that hare is the witch, Obviously, she's spying on them.
Chin.
Yeah, and just like one of the three little pigs. And you can presume that she's the one that causes the backfire in the gun. He admits to Caleb, that he stole Catherine's silver cup that she had gotten from her father and traded it with some Native American traders for, I can't remember exactly what he says he traded it for, some traps and maybe some food or something.
Yeah, I think he said like, I thought he said like he traded it for money for like traps and pelts or something. I don't.
He used it for hunting supplies. Is what he
Yeah.
traded it for.
Something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. And
It doesn't matter. All that matters is he fucking stole it and sold
Yeah,
it.
All that matters is the cup is gone, and that
cup-
bitch just lost her baby and lost her daddy's like leftovers.
My cup.
the cup is an important part of the story, believe it or not. In case any of you listening to this actually didn't watch the movie and you're just listening to us talk about it for some
I would say
reason.
9 out of 10 people have not watched it.
Yeah.
Also, when they're out in the woods, Caleb has like a kind of like a freak out moment where he's questioning whether or not Samuel went to heaven, and William straight up tells him like, "I wish I could tell you that, but I can't tell you that because we don't know."
Yeah. He was unbaptized was also part of his.
Yeah,
that's the Catholic part of the faith that they sprinkle holy water on a baby for baptism to get rid of the original sin.
Well, don't
he did.
But
Baptists do
other
that.
denominations.
Baptists do that shit now too. Also, like they'll be like,
No, well, Methodists do that.
oh, okay, yeah, I know one of them.
Methodists do.
The Baptist and okay, I'm doing a podcast with two atheists, and I am a believer. I'm not a great believer.
What are Puritans like? What is the faith like? The denomination now that like is
they wanted to get away from the Church of England.
Yeah, I know, but like, what denomination? Is there still like a denomination that claims?
I think it's the Protestant churches. I don't think there is a Puritan.
I mean,
I think the Protestants.
Those are Puritans. Those guys. The people at where they are, the guys in like the black and shit, like those are the Puritans.
No. Those are Mormons.
No, the Mormons.
And you're
No,
not Mormons. The
Amish or Mennonites.
The Amish, yeah. I don't think the Amish are. They live a Puritan lifestyle. But I don't know if there's more religion.
I'm a Puritan.
I don't know, but in like the denominations of Christianity, when Jesus died on the cross, he took away all sins, including the first sin. So that's why denominations don't agree with the Methodist Church and the Catholic Church where they baptize a baby. So in theology from a denomination of Christianity that I come from, if a baby was to die, the baby goes to heaven because the baby doesn't know sin. So Samuel wouldn't know sin, but William is so entrenched in this extreme ideology of Christianity that the baby wasn't baptized, quote unquote, so he doesn't know.
They never made it to the river in time to have him baptized in the river.
He said, "Down with the river with him."
There's a scene when you talk about a river. This is kind of gross. Like Thomason is washing off goat shit off her dad's jacket, and then Caleb comes downstream, by the way, and is drinking that fucking water that she's using to wash the fucking jacket. I'm like, you guys fucking stupid.
And then he goes, boobs.
Hey, bada poopy.
He goes, wow, boobs. I love boobs.
He does, and it does it twice, and it's like, all right, no, never. I'm not gonna make a comment.
He needed to whack his gack, bro.
Well, I understand. So he's kind of like, ugh, I gotta bust a nut somewhere. Hey, a small little note today on Twitter. The phrase "nutting" was trending.
Yeah,
and I think they were talking about like a city in Pennsylvania, like Nutting, Pennsylvania, or something like that. But it's just like if you clicked on it, and there's just so many things that popped up. Like I saw some anime porn. I saw this like town legislation. I saw this other shit just for the word nutting, and it was kind of funny to
me. They ought to come to Tennessee where there's an unincorporated town of Nutbush.
Nutbush.
Is it for real?
Yeah, I think.
Where's it at?
It's out in West Tennessee. I think it's actually a famous singer's from there. Let me look it up real quick because I don't want to get it wrong.
Nutting. Finna bust a nut.
Yeah, Tina Turner is from Nutbush, Tennessee.
Oh, hey, you know who Tina Turner was also in? She was in the Road Warrior 3, Mad Max 3, the favorite one of Owen's.
Yeah.
But we never got to that one.
Because
So
I love it so much.
Owen's like, I just can't let that movie just be tarnished by you fuckers.
Yeah.
well, our Australian listener base is probably upset that we didn't get there because, like, literally 4% of our listeners are from Australia.
Oh,
They were like,
that's pretty awesome
"Come
that
on
they
in.
listen to.
That fucking pisses me off, mate."
I was going to be like, I was going to try to say something like a German accent to be Austrian, but because it's a stupid joke in Dumb and Dumber where.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and then she goes, Austria. He goes, well, good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah.
And she goes, that's not. So I was trying to do a reverse of that, and I fucked it up.
So, later that night, when they're eating dinner, Catherine questions Thomason about the cup, accusing her of stealing it because she had caught her before, I guess, looking at it or playing with it or something.
You lost my kid. Did you steal my fucking cup, you little bitch? Is how it came.
And this is the first part where I'm thinking, like, William is shitty. Like, it's funny to me that he's so like, he's staunch in his religious beliefs, but like he won't speak up and tell the truth.
Yeah.
He's letting his daughter take the fall, basically, for him stealing the cup.
He really pussied out.
You know what that means? You know what that means, Cody? That means he's a seasoned husband. He knows not to speak up unless he doesn't have to, because she's going to get mad about something, and he's going to be like, what did I say? So right now he knows she's mad about this. How do I approach this subject? And he's like, you know what? I'll let the kid take the brief. She did lose the kid anyway. So,
yeah,
you know,
so
he's just kind of, eventually he's just like, fuck it. I didn't come up with anything. I sold your fucking cup.
well, that's later on, but eventually, he just says, basically tells Catherine to drop it. Just leave it alone. She didn't take it, but he won't admit that he's the one that did.
Well, I mean, like, he is kind of, I guess he does kind of step in, but, his wife is kind of like a crazy bitch. She is she's the
but she did lose her kid.
Yeah, but
she's grief stricken for sure.
She's the bitch.
Yeah, I understand. Like, she is, of all the characters in this movie, she's the most sympathetic. Even though you don't get enough screen time with her as a character. You just see her, she's holding a baby. She gives the baby to Anna's character, Thomason. And then, like, the majority of the movie, she's either just really upset crying or really upset yelling.
See,
that's it. But that's the character you kind of feel bad for.
I feel like the character I feel the worst for is Black fucking Jesus. I forget his name. Black Phillip. No, but
why? Because that goat's just running around shitting on everything.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's what makes him so.
He's living the best life.
That's what makes him so endearing as a character.
Because he can just like pass his bowels like at any moment.
Yeah.
Going back to Catherine, you do find out later, she basically never wanted to be there in the first place. She says that she misses their home back in England. So, like, to me, that says that she never wanted to come to the colonies, and let alone, be banished from the village that they lived in, thanks to her husband's, pride.
She's 100%. She's 100% suffering because of her husband's decision.
Yeah.
And that's why she's like the most like sympathetic character in this, because she didn't want any of this, and now she's the one left questioning her faith because all this bad shit's happening to them, and she literally has done nothing wrong with it. It's her husband that's made these decisions that, like, all right, guess what? We're going to be like the Egyptians, the Jewish people who left Egypt. We're going to be in the woods for like 40 years, and whatever.
And our children,
and it's just
rednecks.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? We're going to be the ancestors of this little shithead called Owen from this Hickville in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so it's too bad. None of my family were Puritans. Unfortunately, they were all.
I feel real bad for her as a character. Like I said, the kids are just kind of like there.
Yeah.
I don't even remember their names, and they're supposed to be twins.
Yeah, the two twins are like, let me.
But like their actors are not related.
It's Mercy.
I looked it up.
Mercy and Jonas.
Yeah.
My name is Jonas.
but yeah, the one thing with Catherine, and she has that one scene where she's like when she's having like Cody was talking about having that kind of confession to William, and she just she wanted to be home. She said, I had this dream that I was so close to Christ, as he lived and all this, and she goes, I feel so far away, and I just I don't know why. It's not her fault.
Yeah.
And then William is not like fucking doing like saying anything. He's like, I'll take you home, I promise, or some shit like that.
I really like that part of the movie. I like it when they talk like longingly of Britain and stuff because I'm like a history nerd, so one of the things I think that Robert Eggers does really cool is one of the things I think that movies can do really cool is take us back to like time periods and kind of immerse us in like the way people think and kind of show us that, hey, these were real people who had emotions and stuff. So, seeing somebody who's like homesick for, England back in like the 1600s, I mean, that's just like really cool to me.
Because you have to like, okay, I'm somebody, obviously I haven't had a lot of change in my life, but to leave your country to go to another country and literally be like, in this village with people and then get kicked out of this fucking village.
Yeah.
Like,
and you
left for a better life, and yet, her life, their lives are completely turned upside down because the leader of the family, the father, is just, straight up this, extremist, if you will. He's the best way to describe him. They don't go super deep in his details, but he's probably like the priest who's like, he makes everybody feel guilty like they're going to hell every Sunday and everybody has to come up to repent. That's probably him. Like, you stepped on that snail, you're going to hell, or something like that. And there's a lot of extremists like that, and it makes Christianity like extremely like unsufferable. And for somebody who may have like OCD tendencies and not know it, or somebody that was raised up in the church that may have like emotional pain or emotional health issues, if you will, like that shit can really weigh on you. Like my grandmother, she had to go see a psychiatrist like when she was in her 20s because she was so like she was so afraid that the world was going to end, and it was just driving her crazy and shit like that. And it didn't help with the denomination church we went, and it was just one of those things that her psychiatrist just told her, you don't have to let this go, it's going to drive you crazy. And she had to. It was just one of those things. But it's that kind of extremist attitude, especially if you're like, he has almost like other than like him stealing the cup and selling it, and him obviously deceiving his wife at times. The way he portrays his faith is almost like as innocent as a child's faith is. Mm-hmm. His faith is like that strong, and it has to like it's like never changing and stuff.
I mean, yeah,
because as a kid,
I mean, you gotta think about it too. Like back then, that was really a lot. I mean, that's got to be pretty much all people had going. Really, it's like you didn't have like, they couldn't go to like. I mean, some of them could go to like colleges or some shit, but I mean, that was usually reserved for like the upper class. But if you're like, a dirt poor farmer, then like all you have is like you till the land, and then like the next interesting thing in your life is you go to church.
All right, guys.
Yeah, and you're held to this like fucking go ahead and just blend in with the conversation, Cody. You're just kind of held to this like really like extreme standard, and then he's holding it to like he would be one of those people like nowadays that would be like, this is a new earther. Like the earth is only 2,000 years old, and he lives everything by like the literal word of the English translation of the Bible. Whereas obviously there's probably some translations that go back and it means different things, but that's what William is, and it's just I feel bad for Catherine because of that. Because she's feeling the burden of everything that he's making a decision for.
Well, I think he's cool though, because he's like a cool. Like buff dad.
That's cool. I like his mullet.
Yeah.
And I like his voice.
I like his clothes.
But that's about it.
I really like the clothes in this movie, by
the way. All right.
I think they did a real good job with the scenery. Like $4 million. Like the scenery and how this whole movie set up. That's extremely like really well done.
Another
and of course go ahead, Cody.
Another interesting thing about you're talking about the scenery and stuff. when they were shooting the movie, most of the film was shot with natural light. So
Yeah,
I think that's a cool thing.
kind of tell with like the
Yeah,
candles and stuff. Yeah, because it gets like
Yeah.
real dark in their house, and that kind of contributes to the atmosphere.
More
Cool.
places for the witch to hide.
Yeah, for the bitch. Yeah, there's some cool lighting in this movie. Sorry.
Yeah. So later that night, after the dinner scene, the kids overhear William and Catherine discussing the cup, why it was so important to her, and they also bring up the idea of sending Catherine away, or not Catherine, Thomason away, to another family because she's coming of age for the time.
And they're going to sell her into sex slavery.
Exactly. Right? No,
okay, cool.
I mean, obviously they're talking about sending her off to like be married to another family son or whatever, and I guess at the time they were probably still doing a lot of dowry type situations.
Yeah, arranged marriages almost.
Yeah, so yeah, because the only reason they would you would think about it, the only reason they'd be like, oh well, we need to send her away to be married or whatever, is so that other family can give them either more livestock or supplies.
It's some kind of financial benefit to that family. And I don't know. I feel like an arranged marriage in especially India society, that I think it's arranged from birth. Okay, our children want to grow up to get married. I don't know exactly what you would call that. Okay, we're going to arrange this marriage for you now, and they're already teenagers, and then they had to get married and something. I don't think that's necessarily an arranged marriage. I don't know if there's a different term for it, but yeah, it's a quickly arranged marriage.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that was commonplace for the time. Yeah. The next day,
I mean, that's how I met my woman. I mean, come on.
The next day, Caleb is about to go.
Hold on. Okay, I gotta tell this quick story. Okay, this is go to my buddy Alex, and he's married to a wonderful Native American woman named Kristen. Hello, Kristen. And Alex asked her dad, to his permission to propose to her. And they're full-blooded Native American, and he looked at Alex and goes, "Yeah, I will need 2 horses for that." And Alex said, "Oh, okay." And Alex told me, he goes, "I don't know if he was being serious or not." And then I think at the wedding, Alex gave him 2 those little miniature farm toy horses.
Yeah.
For it. So I thought it was pretty funny. But just the whole I want 2 horses for that. Alex is okay. It was wonderful, man. It's just a great little joke.
So the next day, Caleb is preparing to go out into the forest. He's wanting to check the trap for food. I guess he's wanting to surprise his parents with the fact that he went out and actually brought food home or whatever. But Thomason insists that she goes with him. So they go out in the woods. The hare shows up again, and the dog starts chasing him. I think the dog's name is Fowler. I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And Caleb goes running after Fowler. Meanwhile, Thomason is trying to keep the horse steady, but he bucks her off. She can't ride. Yeah, he bucks her off, and she gets knocked unconscious. So Caleb goes, and it cuts back and forth between Caleb and the parents calling out for him and Thomason. But eventually he follows the hare. The dog gets killed during this scene or whatever, right? And then he follows the hare to a little hovel where the witch lives, and she comes out and she looks like she's young. Now this is what confused me about the ointment in the beginning. The first time I watched this, it wasn't until I started doing some research after the fact that I realized that the ointment was flying ointment. But I thought that because she shows herself to him and she's younger, that the ointment was almost like a fountain of youth sort of situation.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah. So, but we already talked about it a little bit. But she kind of lures him in, kisses him, and then this creepy ass gnarled hand comes up and grabs him. Thomason wakes up, makes her way back to the edge of the woods, sees her dad, explains that Caleb's missing, and then I think we get the scene where the mother is accusing her again of it all being her fault. She's the reason that Samuel was taken. She's the reason that Caleb's gone.
She's trying to
stole
get
the
her
cup.
to say why they went out in the woods, and for some reason Thomason's like, "I promised."
Yeah, I don't understand this moment, like why she's insisting on not telling her mom what happened.
I don't know.
Well, I think it's because this family has poor times of picking and choosing their battles, and they learned that from their dad. It's just like, I can't tell you where he's at. I know he's been missing for 4 hours, but I can't tell you. By the way, I didn't take your cup.
I promised him. Now that he's dead, though, but I promised him. He's probably dead.
Yeah. I saw his head hanging from a tree out there, but I promised him.
I promise. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sure he'll
Jesus.
care. So.
At this point, William finally confesses that he's the reason that the cup was stolen because Catherine brings it up again. Or no.
Well,
she doesn't bring it up.
I think it's a good time.
He does it to save her because Catherine is like berating her for accusing her of being the one that took Caleb out to the woods, even though it's really the opposite way around. And William finally steps in.
Let's analyze the situation though. Okay, so first off, Catherine has lost her youngest child, and now her second oldest child is now missing, and she is yelling at the oldest child, the daughter. So the dad's like, "Okay, look, I have 3 barriers of defense before she gets mad at me. So let me just go ahead and drop this knowledge. Oh, by the way, I sold your cup." So he's like, "Look, we got more important things to fucking worry about here. Okay, don't worry about a fucking cup." So he's just picking his battles. Like he's slyly like, I've been married long enough to know this is my time to tell her this shit. So I have yet to learn this stuff in like relationships. I'll just be like, yeah, and be like, that's the wrong thing to say to whatever she said, and she's mad. So I'm like, oh shit, she didn't want me to be honest.
Yeah. So later that night, Thomason. It seems like Thomason and Catherine's relationship is on a little bit better terms at this point. Because Catherine finally realized, I've been blaming her for all this stuff that wasn't her fault. When Thomason says that she's going to go, I think the phrase he uses, bed the goats. So I guess just like put them up in the barn or whatever.
Put them to fucking sleep.
She goes out there with a 9mm. All right, Black Phillip, it's time to go.
Well, they probably should have done that, to be quite honest with you. But if Black Phillip was Satan, the bullet probably wouldn't have hurt him. So.
Yeah. So, but when she goes outside, Caleb is out there, and he's naked. And
well, actually, she goes out there to the goats first, and then she hears a noise, and it's Caleb kind of like leaning on the fence, going, "Wow, I just had sex."
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
He's like, "Well, you guys would not believe the night I've had."
He's like, "Oh my god!"
He's like,
"She would not get off me for 4 hours."
Like, that was something else. Ooh.
But let's go back to that scene though, where he's out there and he kisses, or the witch kisses him or whatever, and it's just like, it has to be like extremely awkward, that whole thing. And like your Cody said in his trivia about it, that it was awkward for him. He was all nervous, the boy. I mean, who wouldn't be nervous? You're kissing a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that music is so like turned up, because there's probably like no like authentic atmosphere during the scene, because it's just kind of like, okay, I guess we got to do this. But then you have the old woman off camera that reaches in and grabs the boy, and it's like, ooh.
Well, I think the way that they use the music in this film. And again, this is pretty common now with like this newer form of horror movie, but they really use a lot of silence to basically accentuate like stressful situations, and they use a lot of like high pitched, like sharp, quickly raised notes in order to also like give you like a distressed feeling. Because you're not getting a score constantly throughout the film. So like when you are getting it, it's like, oh, something is definitely like up right now.
Can I ask a question? When you say elevated horror, what other movies are like part of that genre?
So, The Babadook, It Follows, Hereditary.
I don't know why him laughing at the Babadook made me laugh.
Just the way Cody said it, the Babadook. I'm like, okay.
The Baba Boo 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 Baba.
So It Follows, Hereditary, Midsummer, things of that nature.
Now, are all these movies kind of like lower budget movies?
Yeah, I guess they
Because I'm
probably
like, this
are.
movie's kind of like a $4 million. You know, like okay, like the Halloween movies that Blumhouse has been putting out, they're making like they're have a $10 million budget, which is considered really small for a movie that's going to make you at least $100 million. But this movie has like a $4 million budget. I'm wondering if like they're stretched the $4 million as much as they can, and the score that comes in is just more like initially was built out of necessity to make the movie more scarier, and then it just became part of the genre where it's like an elevated horror thing, you know?
I don't know. I don't think the budget really has anything to do with the score being the way it is. I think that's just the way that they just wanted to score it.
Wanted it. Like he just wanted it to have like be only. I mean, it has this effect where it makes anytime you feel like any of the music in it feels kind of like unnatural and kind of supernatural. When they do it that way, it's like anytime you hear music in this film, you know, it feels like it has this like otherworldly kind of effect, and you know that's part of that's because you only hear it when like creepy, supernatural shit's happening, and you know another part of that is because of the instruments and the kind of free form style of the music on top of that.
Yeah. Now to answer your question about lower budgets, I just looked up every single movie that I named off. The highest budget out of all of those is Hereditary with $10 million. The Babadook had a budget of $2 million, and It Follows was $1.3 million. So
okay, so maybe it is like maybe that's something they all have in common. Like I mean, I'm sure Eggers. It's how do I put this? Like we made that joke about Commando having like just that music that's in your face like all the time. And I know that, like, obviously, a lot of the older horror movies from like the 30s and 40s didn't really have music, but except for like the really, the scenes that like they wanted to scare you with or whatever. Yeah. So I just didn't know if it was something that maybe other movies had used the music. Like, I don't think this is the first one of the elevated horror. Is that am I completely wrong?
It's not the earliest one. No, the Babadook and It Follows. Yeah. The Babadook and It Follows both came out in 2014. Now, I think what makes it considered elevated horror, it doesn't really have so much to do with the budget or anything. It has more to do with the subject matter because it is more like serious subject matter. Like the Babadook really deals with like grief and depression. Like that's the whole overlying theme of the film. So, and same thing with this. I mean, it deals with grief, you know, a lot of it, and I think that's
okay. I'm completely off, and I was just trying to make a connection in my head.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, think about other like subgenres of horror. You know, like you have slasher films. You know, like it's really all just about like following the killer around as he slaughters a bunch of people.
Movie where there's a scary ghost.
Yeah, like the paranormal wave, and you know, you have Japanese horror, with like The Grudge and The Ring and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's just.
Yeah, I was just curious. I didn't know if, like, you know, maybe they use the music as like, okay, let's kind of create more tension that maybe wasn't there before. I'm not saying that for this movie, but like for the earlier movies of the genre.
Yeah, no, I think maybe. I think you're partly right. The music is there to create tension, but it's there to, you know, elevate the tension.
Yeah. It makes those scenes feel like, because think about if you were watching that coven at the end where they're like floating, or when she's walking into the woods, it wouldn't feel as like creepy if you didn't have that weird like bell chime kind of.
To be honest with you, I don't know, man. If that shit was like pitch silent, and you just saw her walking, and then you eventually heard the chants getting louder and louder, I think that'd be freaky as fuck too.
Yeah.
You know, just because of that. It's like when Cody was saying elevated horror, my dumbass brain originally was like, is that because the witches were flying?
Yeah.
But, you know, because of elevation.
Yeah.
You know,
any horror movie where there's flying.
Which actually happens in Hereditary too, so you know.
Damn, bro.
Cody, let me ask you something. So you've seen all these movies that you kind of just named off.
Yeah.
Okay, would you say this is like your favorite one of this kind of like little subgenre?
It is my favorite to go back and rewatch, for sure. But I think they're all fantastic, all of them that I named off. But the one that is like truly like just scares the hell out of me every time I watch it is Hereditary. The last like 15 minutes of that movie are just it gives me nightmares. I mean, it's horrifying, and
well, I'm sure that would affect me in a very negative way.
What the fuck?
Well, let me ask you this: like, did you ever watch that fucking movie, the Mexican ghost Conjuring movie?
The Curse of La Llorona? Yeah.
Yeah, was that any good?
Was that any good? Llorona. No, not really. I think it's one of the weaker ones. It feels like generic ghost movie to me. So it to me, I think it's probably my next to last as far as like the Conjuring series goes. Like with Annabelle being the only one that's below that.
Well, let's ask this cool quick question before we get back to the plot. How would you rank some of these movies, Cody, versus Halloween Kills?
Oh, all of these are better than Halloween Kills.
Remember we did that with like The Last Jedi and like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Would you watch this over this or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? You know, so I thought it'd be funny, like, cause as much as we all hated Halloween Kills.
Yeah. So, what was the last thing? Caleb showed up.
Caleb was like, "Wow, I just had sex with a grown ass woman, and she was also old."
He's like, "You felt so good,"
and he's sick. The next day, we get the scene where Thomason milks the goat, and it's blood, and the twins are there accusing her of being a witch, and eventually they go inside because Caleb is starting to like stir.
He screams.
Yeah, that's right. He does scream, which basically summons them inside. He said, "I'm talking Thriller."
Thriller. Everybody in the house just starts dancing to Thriller.
That's the alternate ending. The witch comes out from the back room, just tits flying everywhere.
The goat's over there shitting in the corner.
But yeah, so they go up there.
The goat starts spitting out rhymes like "die."
They go upstairs, or up the ladder. You know what I mean, to the second story of the house, and Caleb is in pain. He says that his basically his gut is in severe pain, and he eventually
syphilis, baby.
Yep, that's what it is.
He's like,
fast
my
acting.
bowels, my fucking bowels, dude. Give me some Pepto-Bismol.
Diarrhea.
He eventually coughs up a rotten apple, and they know that he's been witched, and that's when the twins immediately point at Thomason, and they're like, she's the witch. She told us. She be the witch of the wood. She is.
Right, you be the witch, right? Come on then.
Master Wayne.
She's the witch, right? Come on then. That's the kids.
So then they the father's William says he doesn't want to hear any of it. They start to pray around Caleb. Caleb is also praying, and when William asks the twins to pray, they both kind of like grab their stomachs and bend over and say that they can't do it. They can't remember it. Now, this was actually a test during the witch trials that if someone could not recite the Lord's Prayer, it meant that they were a witch. Which it could also just mean that they were uneducated or didn't go to church or whatever.
Or maybe
but,
they are they.
know.
I guess. I mean, I thought they were just being witched. Like that was something. Like if your house was being witched, like that was something that would affect your children like that.
Let me pull it up.
If you were being bitched.
You got punked out like a bitch.
I'm talking. So, during the witch hunts of colonial America, it was widely believed that a witch could not say the entire Lord's Prayer. That is why the family is so upset when Mercy and Jonas are unable to finish the prayer.
They said,
so,
my name
yeah.
is Jonas.
And you also remember this came right after Thomason turned the tables back on them and said that they've been the ones conversing with Black Phillip, saying that he's talking to them and all that. So,
and that's when they shut the fuck up and laid still. Like, oh.
Yeah. Now it was also a belief that Satan would take the form of a goat, typically a black goat, which is why Black Phillip is a black goat in the film. So again, like Owen said, like Robert Eggers definitely was either already a nerd or did extensive research for writing the script to this, where every detail is accurate to the period based on like certain like testimonies and all that.
There's a thing after the credits, after they say written and directed by Robert Eggers, that said like the majority of this movie was taken from like actual manuscripts of trials that happened during this time period,
right?
Judging witches and stuff like that. So he did his research and he like kept going to that the plantation, like the Plymouth plantation, whatever, like where he lived, because he's like from the New England area anyway.
Yeah.
And I was reading it up on Wikipedia that he said he would go to that a lot as a kid and was just like really consumed with it and thought it was a really cool time period. Obviously. Yeah. So he's like Owen with a visual touch. So.
Yeah. He's like, he makes the movies I would make if I was any good at making movies. And
if you had a lot of money to make
and if I was smart with money.
But to this be quite honest, like Owen would be so like, if he was to make a witch movie, he would make The Witch Meets the Clerks. and he would just be like, he's so smarmy and shit like that. He's just like, no, man, I'm too good for that. But they'll never see this shit coming. No, it would be like The Witch Meets Freddy Got Fingered.
I'm torn between like my idiot brain and like my intellectual brain. Like, and sometimes my idiot brain just takes over and makes me want to like just watch like shit like Freddy Got Fingered.
It's just like, this would be really good set in colonial.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, what if like Freddy got fingered? Like, what if there was a movie where they like smoked weed and went back in time and like fucking, I don't know.
Hot tub time machine.
Yeah, dude, exactly. What the fuck?
What
they took my shit?
What's the guy who plays in? Is it Tom Green?
Yeah.
Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah. He goes up to Black Phillip and grabs his dick. He's like, I'm a farmer, Daddy. I'm a farmer.
That'd be cool.
So stupid. That's so
after the twins fall out, Caleb,
Cody goes, they just fall out.
Well, basically, yeah, they fall on the ground and they're just laying there, and they won't get up, they won't respond to anybody talking to them. But Caleb proclaims his love for Jesus and he dies. At this point, William believes that Thomason is actually the witch. And he takes her outside, tells her that she's going to be put on trial the next time they return to town. But she basically throws everything back in his face, calling him a hypocrite because, he just stood by while she was blamed for everything. And she also points out that the devil takes the form of a black billy goat. And, the fact that the twins have been conversing with him. Maybe this is where she actually tells them that they've been talking to the goat specifically. Instead of in the house in the Caleb scene. But that's when he goes back to the house. He has her tell Catherine that what she had told him. So he takes he goes to the twins and he says, "Speak if this not be true." And of course they don't say anything. And he
grabs one of them and starts shaking them.
Yeah.
Like I said it from the word go. Man, come on.
When I first watched this, I thought this was gonna be the point where he like breaks and he's like fucking, I don't know, going after the family like with an axe or some shit, like fucking shining.
He turns into Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
He turns into Jack.
Fucking Jack Torrance.
Yeah.
All work and no play makes William a dull boy.
He's like, stop fucking making fun of me for chopping wood all day, okay?
He's like, quit swinging the bat, Catherine. Quit swinging the goddamn bat.
So he takes all the children and locks them in the barn. Locks them. He boards up the barn and tells them to think it over.
It's more like a little goat house. I wouldn't call that a barn.
It's a very small barn, I guess.
It's like an igloo.
Yeah, it's an igloo made of wood.
Well, it's a wood igloo if you think of it like you have like the goats in there. Obviously, it's not very long because you see this thing.
Yeah.
And then it looks like about the same size as my little house I had as a kid that I used to wait in before the bus picked me up. It's like this little shelter house. And like you had like a little wood bench in it. It's probably like 4 feet like wide. That's probably like the length of this motherfucker. It's not that big.
Yeah.
It looks like what they live in is an old fucking barn. Is what they live in. They kind of convert it into a house.
Yeah. While they are in the goat house, I'll just call it that from now on. The goat house.
Mercy's over there like in Black Phillip's ear.
That was earlier, wasn't it? That was earlier.
No, she's also. Was it early? Okay, it's just like
because they're outside.
Hey, Black Phillip, blam blam, ooh, Black Phillip, blam
blam blam.
Black Phillip,
Black Phillip jump high, bam blam, but it ain't no lie. So this is when Catherine, or I think they asked Catherine if she's actually a witch, and she says no, and then she asked them,
"What are you guys?
what are you little freaks?" She asked them if they actually talked to Black Phillip, and they don't answer the question. William's outside breaking down crying, finally confessing that he's been prideful and that's the whole reason that they're in the situation they're in. Catherine ends up that night has a vision of Caleb with Samuel. And if you notice, when Caleb talks, he's whispering the whole time. And this is meant to, I think it's meant to be that this is Black Phillip or Lucifer presenting himself to Catherine, just disguised as Caleb and Samuel, because Caleb gives Samuel to Catherine and asks her if she would wish to sign the book, and he's basically trying to recruit her to be a witch. Yeah. Because signing the book of the devil is how you make it.
I don't think he's talking about her. Because he says that to like. I don't think he says that to Catherine, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Saying like he will sign the book.
He says he asks her specifically if she will look at the book, but she says yes, but first Samuel looks hungry, and that's when she goes to breastfeed him. And,
okay, yeah, it's the crow picking at her.
The crow's picking at her breast. This is actually also another reference to witch beliefs at the time. Let me find it real quick. Sorry.
So at this point on, has Catherine like pledged herself to Satan?
No, so I don't think that she actually does, because she's so distracted by the fact that she thinks that she's there with Samuel. So I don't read that she actually signs the book or anything, but Lucifer definitely tries to get her to.
Yeah, because she's straight up like, she looks kind of evil the next day. It's funny because, William, when he gets up out of bed, her eyes flicker open real quick, and she looks kind of like fucking, she looks like a woman because she's pissed off. But, and she's got the blood on her shirt and shit like that. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Anything with blood in this movie kind of made me squeamish. I don't know why.
So here's the fact. Witches were believed to have a witch's teat, a special nipple or blemish with which they nursed their familiars and fed them blood, which is the whole reference with the crow picking at Catherine and, essentially drinking her blood. So the next morning, William wakes up. Catherine's there, still laying in bed. You can see that her nightgown has blood on it.
Her titties bleeding.
I forgot. That night is the night that the witch shows up in the goat house.
And she kills the goats and the kids.
Yeah, kills the goats. You don't see the kids anywhere, so I'm assuming that she just takes them.
Well, no, she kills them. I mean, that's what it's hinted around to.
don't.
So
I mean,
it's just I don't think they could get the kids to probably sit still for seeing them play dead.
I don't know because you don't see their bodies anywhere. You would at least think that they would have some short cut of them showing because everything else is just so much detail in this.
Let the bodies in the vault.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, my assumption is she took them into the woods, probably to eat them or something. But
But they're probably already like baptized at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that she turns them into flying ointment or anything, but she may still take them to eat them.
I thought you were about to say flying juice. I'm like, yeah, well.
Yeah, that thought actually crossed my mind. I was like, should I say flying juice? No. But yeah, William goes outside that morning. The little goat house is destroyed. All the goats are dead except for Black Phillip.
He's like, what the fuck happened last night?
Yeah.
He's just looking around like, I sleep for 5 hours and this happens?
The first time I watched this, it like made me jump real hard when Phillip like rammed him. I was like, oh shit, because it just like comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so he rams him once and gores him, right? And then
Gore! That's a wrestling reference. I'm sorry.
It's a rhino, yeah. And then rams him again, which is what knocks him into the wood pile. And what basically I think he ends up dying in that pile.
Yeah, he's like dead at that point. There's no like, oh, forgive me, daughter. No, it's just like he's dead.
Yeah. So
and then Catherine comes out and says,
"You
crazy bitch, what did you do?"
And then Black Phillip runs away.
I think he almost like, I could just be wrong because there's so many scenes that blend together, but he almost like hops away like a rabbit. Yeah, he does.
He does do like a little hop off screen.
You can just probably hear like Robert Eggers going, "For fuck's sake, he couldn't just trot off." He's like holding his face and he goes, "Remind me never to use a fucking goat again, guys."
Yeah, I mean Robert Eggers did think that did expect the goat to be better trained than it was, so he had to work with what he had, I guess. But yeah, you're right. Catherine comes outside, sees the massacre that's around her, and attacks Thomason. When she's on top of her on the ground, and Thomason reaches over and grabs I don't really know what type of knife it is or blade, but hits her in the face
like a
once.
Billhook or some shit.
Yeah. It's definitely something. It looks like something they used to harvest the corn. But hits her in the face, and you get that good shot of her like where it just kind of lingers on her face for a second while like the blood starts pouring out, and then
she gets even more mad. She's like, "Oh hell no, bitch!"
And then she starts trying to choke her to death. And Thomason, I think Thomason at this point says, "I love you," and then starts hacking away.
She's like, "I love you, I love you."
Which is, to be fair, the mom, as sympathetic as she is, was really fucking stupid in this scene because you think like, "Oh wait, she just hit me with her right hand. I should probably grab her right hand. And I'm gonna keep choking her." No, it doesn't work that way. This is not how you fight. You fucking grab the bitch's right hand. You take the knife and stab her in the eye.
Well, this is probably the first and only fight she's ever been in. So. And ever will be in.
She probably fighting with like all the demons of hell now.
Gosh,
she's turned into like a female Blade. And she's like escaped hell. I'm gonna kill all these witches now instead of vampires.
Yeah. Thomason gets up, goes inside, removes her dress, but she still has a nightgown on, and she basically sits there until nightfall.
Well, she falls asleep.
Right, yeah. And then Black Phillip wanders in, right? And
No, she goes out there and she goes out to the field where Black Phillip is because I think she remembers the kid saying Black Phillip talked to them, blam blam.
Right, and then Black Phillip walks into...
Which after it feels like a fucking forever, it's like, come on, you fucking goat. Come on, get in the barn. And it goes like... Okay, whatever.
So they walk in there, and that's when you get the great, line of, I think it's a cool little monologue, or conversation, I guess I should say. It's not really a monologue, between Lucifer and Thomason, where he asked her if she would like the taste of butter or a pretty dress, and ask if she would like to live deliciously. Yeah, I do want to live deliciously in the chocolate factory. All right. So, and then Black Phillip, says, sign the book. She says she can't write.
I can't lift my hand.
She says, I can't write my name.
She's like, I can't read.
Which at the time, women weren't educated.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of people weren't educated.
What do you mean at the time, Cody?
Oh, God.
What do you mean?
No,
what do you mean those people?
At the time.
What do you mean women aren't educated?
Yeah. Someone
because they're not educated now. Okay?
Someone clip what Cody said there. Just put.
I guess. The part where Cody goes, "Oh God," there's a woman will come up to me and question me about something. I go, "Where is your husband?" And I'm making a joke.
Where is your husband?
Cody will know the commercial, but it's a stupid progressive commercial, and it's flows back in the 1950s or 40s. It's black and white, and obviously she's trying to tell everybody about car insurance, and the guy who's leading the commercial looks around and goes, "Where is your husband at?" Because women didn't have opinions back then, so it's a funny commercial.
But yeah, at the time, a lot of people weren't educated, but especially women, because it was expected that women would just stay at home, tend the, they'd be the ones responsible
goats weren't educated either.
Yeah. So,
well, goats definitely were not educated, and still
especially
aren't.
this one. He's like, this dumb motherfucker.
But he is goated with the sauce though.
He is. And it's so funny to me, they do that little scene where he's supposed to be Satan. You don't see his face.
Yeah, you
and
can
he's
see his boots in his hand.
obviously. But then he turns back into the goat running into the field, and it's just funny to me.
Well, you can't
they're probably calling the goat fucking go, make the call, and somebody's in the woods come here,
Well, you gotta think you can't, if you're Lucifer, you can't be running around in a field or in the woods with your
everybody's dead. I'm everybody, who is he hiding from at this point? Go out there and have fun with it.
You never
but it's
know.
just funny to me because it's just funny because you see her walking and the goat's so far behind, and all of a sudden the goat starts trotting real fast. The goat's hilarious in this movie. On the second rewatch, if I ever rewatch it, I'm just gonna pay attention to this goat. This goat's fuck all, I don't give a shit. It's if you try to train a cat, I imagine it's the same way. Cats don't give a fuck what you try to tell them to do. This goat's the same way. It's yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. So Thomason says she can't write her name. Lucifer says that he will guide her hand, and then he also tells her
gives him a hand job
to remove her I don't know what it is, but that under dress type thing that she wears. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway,
a shift.
She walks a shift. Yes, thank you. Then they walk off into the woods. Well, the goat trots into the woods while Thomason walks into the woods, and you see a coven of witches dancing around a fire.
Ooh la la la! Ooh la la!
And they begin to float in the air. Thomason also begins to float, and she starts laughing with what I interpret as a combination of glee and relief.
Yeah, she can finally shed her past life is what she's doing.
Right.
But what's funny to me is all the other witches are doing all this work to fly, and all of a sudden she just floats with them. I'm bitch, learn it yourself.
She was
maybe
the fucking person. She was the one person they needed to be able to fly, dude.
Maybe it was
well, they were already flying before.
Maybe it was Lucifer saying sign the book, get one free type deal.
Yeah. He was all right, we'll set you up a little bit ahead since everybody else is.
This is a free meal at the Golden Corral. This is your first time in. It's a free meal, but you gotta pay when you come back.
So yeah, and that's where the movie ends.
Hey Cody, did you? And this is really random. Cody, did you ever play Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic?
I've tried, but it's very difficult to play with like modern sensibilities.
Gotcha. Well, there's a character, Darth Nihilus,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty much just like this ghost behind this mask in a Sith robe, but he talks
he's
like
a goat in a Sith robe.
no, a ghost, but he can go with a goat. It's fine. And he talks like you can't really understand what he's saying, but Satan almost sounds like him.
Yeah.
The way he talks, he's trying to do this like really long old English, but in a fucking whisper, and it's just kind of funny.
Like to live
to suck
deliciously.
mate? All right.
And he's like, she goes, "I'll guide your hand," and all of a sudden she gives him a hand job.
Oh,
So,
gosh. All right.
On that note,
on that note, let's get to our recommendations. Owen, let's start with you.
I hate this fucking movie, dude. Nah, I like it. It's a good movie.
I like he's like, I hate this fucker movie, dude.
This is a good movie. It's a great Halloween watch too. Like it's a spooky October movie, definitely. And even coupled with that, you know, the even beyond that, I love it for its how authentic it is to the time period and stuff. How it kind of how Robert Eggers takes you back to the time period with like, you know, the set, like shit, like the accurate. Isn't the corn like supposed to be like accurate too? Like it's not like modern. Yeah, it's not like fucking down with the sickness kind of corn, you know.
It's the wrong fucking band, damn it.
Yeah, it is. It is supposed to be more like period accurate.
Yeah, and so in the English itself, there's something to be said about how the actors, you know, portrayed the characters so well, all while speaking fucking early modern English. Yeah. I mean, I just
King James English is what I like to call it.
What'd you say, Lance? You broke up pretty bad.
Oh, sorry. I said it sounds like King James English. It's like how the King James version of the Bible.
Yeah, the Shakespearean shit. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. So yeah, this movie rocks.
All right, Lance, would you recommend it?
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's a one-watch movie for me, but I feel like the quality of it, like I think anybody who's in the mood to watch a scary movie, like, really what? Are you guys? Am I breaking up?
Yeah, you're
breaking up real bad.
Evan, that's what you said.
Well, mine's coming through fine on
How
mine.
you doing?
I was trying to understand at first. Like I heard, like this is a one movie watch or something, but it was like,
You were like,
no, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, or I can.
Okay, no, I said it's a one watch movie for me, but I definitely recommend it. Like if you're in the mood for a scary movie, like it's so well done. Like I said, it's a very low budget, not in a bad way because they maximize everything, but it's almost like it would be something Stanley Kubrick. You know, as much as I have like disdain for the person Stanley Kubrick, I think a lot of his movies are good.
Yeah, the guy's an asshole, but like his movies are pretty good.
Yeah, and like this movie, I feel like it's the same way. Like I'm curious to go watch The Northman.
Yeah, I still haven't watched The Northman.
Dude, we should
myself.
do that actually. I might pick it if you don't pick it, Cody.
Yeah, I mean you're welcome to pick it because my next movie is gonna be Krampus. So
yeah, all right. I need an excuse to watch it, so I guess that will probably be my next.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I think the movie's like really well done. The director cared, and he knew. Like I read something on Wikipedia. He goes like, "Look, I get like one chance to make this movie. It's got to be good." Yeah. So I think he knocked it out of the park with as a first time director and writer. Like he wrote it by himself. Yeah. So you know, it's definitely a definite recommend. I don't know if I would rewatch it just because I'm not trying to get nightmares, but it's definitely a good movie.
I am.
Yeah. So obviously, I would recommend it. Like I said, toward the beginning of this episode, this is one of my top 10 favorite horror movies ever. I've watched it 4 or 5 times at this point. Great film. It's also awesome, like going back and rewatching it every time, picking up on just like little details that I didn't notice before. So, but just to echo what Lance said, Owen, it's an excellent film. I mean, great all around script and very impressive for a first time director and screenwriter. So Well,
he did everything but produce this motherfucker. So.
yeah.
And
Was
then,
that-
like his 2 movies since then, he's been the producer, writer, and director on his other 2 movies. So he's
Right.
obviously earned that kind of trust.
Yeah, we'll have to do
came
the
to,
we'll have
you
to
know.
do the Lighthouse eventually too,
Yeah.
because
Maybe
I
I
love
should-
I love the Lighthouse.
Maybe I should pick the Lighthouse next because I fucking
He-
love the
he's-
shit out of the Lighthouse. I like the Lighthouse more
he-
than this.
I mean, if you pick the Lighthouse next, then my film, or I guess my film after Krampus, I'll pick the Northman.
Okay.
If you do the Lighthouse next.
All right, yeah, I'll do the
So,
Lighthouse next then because I want to
But
expose Lance to the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
well, Eggers also it's on the back burner right now, but he was going to do a remake of Nosferatu.
Oh
which is
yeah, I
the
know.
original Dracula.
That would've
I'm
rocked.
hoping he still does it.
Yeah.
I hope he still does it. I was so excited whenever that was announced. I was like, "Fuck yes, man!" Like,
But he
this is
also
awesome.
said that he felt like how conceited did he sound? Like he's a second, like at this point it would have been his second movie. Like he's gonna tackle something like Nosferatu. And he's like, nah,
Well,
I
now
don't
he's
need to do that. Right
now he's 3 movies in, and I think that The Witch had a lot of like high praise. The Lighthouse had a lot of high praise. I think The Northman, people say it's a good film, but I think it's it's
I was
bit
telling Owen
less.
this.
Yeah.
It's like 89, like 90% Rotten Tomatoes too. Like
Didn't he co-direct it
Oh,
So
so that's
critically-
great.
with somebody? Didn't he
what?
co-direct it, The Northman? I know he
No,
co-wrote it.
he co-wrote it with somebody else, and he co-wrote The Lighthouse with his brother.
Yeah.
He has a twin
Brother.
brother, but he has like The Northman. I mean, look, that movie. I think it had like obviously a high dollar cast, and it had like $70 to $90 million budget, and it only made like $86 million.
It didn't
But
even make that.
I don't
it made
think it's the
it
type-
made 69 million. It didn't make its money
Dude,
back.
nice.
Nice. But
So-
let's be honest with you, that movie made more money than The Witch did, and probably made more money than The Lighthouse. So if he had kept it at a smaller budget, it wouldn't be
Yeah.
looked at as quote unquote.
That's the
failure.
only thing.
I'm pulling up the Lighthouse now, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Owen.
that's the only thing that kind of upsets me about The Northman is that like, so that was Robert Eggers.
That Morbius made more money. Hi-yo!
That was like Robert Eggers' that was his first big budget movie, like with like an actual. So I was really, interested to see what he would do with that budget, and it kind of hurt to hear that it didn't do quite as well, and that he had supposedly like a bad experience with directing the movie, and with like his producers and stuff. So he.
Yeah. So looking at the Lighthouse had a budget of 11 million and made a box office of 18.3. So at least it made its money back, but it didn't even do as well as The Witch. But you got to understand, the Lighthouse is definitely an art piece.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
it's not.
when I saw like the trailer for The Lighthouse, I remember being like, dude, that looks fucking radical. Like, I was like,
Oh, well, see, that's what I thought. I was like, man, this movie looks really interesting. And hold on just a second.
Ma, what more?
he's like, Mom.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I had a similar opinion too when I first saw trailers. Where like, man, this looks awesome, but it's looking at it. It's definitely not a movie that is meant for a wider audience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to appeal to people, especially just right off the bat. The fact that it's in black and white, like,
and like
automatically is a
4:3
turn off for
aspect
people.
ratio.
Yeah, but if you love the Snyder Cut like I do, then you're used to that.
Yeah.
Which I know the Snyder Cut came later. But yeah, it is disappointing that The Northman. I thought The Northman would have drawn in a lot more people because it's not a horror movie.
Yeah, and it's
like a Viking
Vikings.
epic.
Everybody fucking loves
Yeah.
Vikings. Well, I guess this is kind of like at the tail end of everybody jerking off over Vikings.
Well,
Yeah.
also you got to not realize, but take into account the audience was probably going to be smaller for this movie, but also we were still in the middle of the pandemic when this movie came out. It's not like this thing had a fucking probably wild release, and it's not something you're taking your kids.
I
to
think
go
this released
see. Like the only movies that have made any money
like
is like the superhero movies.
didn't this movie release like something came out when
Last year.
yeah, but something else came out when this movie had hit theaters too, and
Well, that's usually how movies work.
yeah, but it was something like fucking like crazy, like Spider-Man or some shit. Like,
Well, the Northman.
might have been,
the Northman came out this year. It came out in Came out in April.
Oh my god, it came out when Morbius did. Hi-oh.
It came out when Morbius did, and I guess it came out a couple weeks before Doctor Strange.
Morbius still made more money than the Northman.
Morpheus. That's because that's because Morbius is like the greatest movie ever made, dude.
There it is. It's Morbid.
Yeah, it's Morbid time, baby.
So, according to Wikipedia, it says that Eggers still plans on doing Nosferatu. He wants to do it as his 4th film. So,
that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
But right now he's
which is kind of funny. Like, I wonder why he just doesn't do a straight up like Dracula thing. I wonder if it's just because of the Nosferatu name.
He wants to Dracula his nuts all over your face.
Because I mean, Nosferatu. The only reason it's called Nosferatu is because it's an unauthorized adaptation of the Dracula.
Yeah, at the time, yeah, but Nosferatu, I'm pretty sure that Nosferatu is public domain at this point, and Dracula is definitely public domain at this point. Like, it doesn't matter. Anyone can make a movie with Dracula in it, or So
it's just kind of funny that Nosferatu is like the original accurate portrayal of what a vampire would look like at the time. Yeah. But now, then obviously they made him like handsome with black hair, but
sexy, fucking. Hey, he's gonna be in my next movie, bro. What's his name?
Who? Bela Lugosi?
No,
Nosferatu?
No, Edward.
Dracula.
What's his?
Oh, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's gonna be in the next movie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Or were we watching the Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess let's go ahead and talk about what we have coming up. So, Lance, your movie is next.
I am extremely excited about this because Cody has not seen this movie, and this movie entranced me as a young teenager. I was probably 14 when it came out, so it was just one of those movies that just fucking blew me away. My dad bought it on DVD, brought it home, and we all watched it. And I'm not a fan of like Mel Gibson as the person here in like the last 25 years. But Mel Gibson as an actor, I've always loved, especially like later on, we're going to do the Lethal Weapon movie. But we're doing Signs, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix and one of the Culkin brothers. And I can't remember the other chick. The chick, she's the youngest girl in Zombieland. She's the little girl in Signs. I can't remember her name.
I don't remember her name.
But yeah, so this movie is about like aliens.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're watching Signs.
Yeah. So Signs will be
movie,
next.
So I'm excited.
Signs will be next, and then it sounds like we're doing The Lighthouse for Owen's movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that would be Cody's movie.
Krampus.
Krampus. Oh, you hit me in my Krampus.
You better be good, little boys and girls, or Krampus will come and take you.
You hit my fucking Krampus, my friend.
And then my next movie will be an easy watch. It'll be Lethal Weapon, which is like an hour, like 40 minutes long. So,
but
so we got the movie. We're on a good rotation right now. We're getting episodes out every 2 weeks. We're getting recorded every 2 weeks.
And then my next movie is gonna be after that is gonna be Octomom Home Alone.
Oh God.
That's gonna be my next movie. So
it's what was that before Home Alone?
It's a Octomom Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone. Gotcha. Okay. That'd be fucking
Octomom Home Alone. Let me see if I can buy it somewhere.
Is that a porno?
Yeah. It's. Do you know who Octomom is?
Yeah, I know she had like 8 kids.
Yeah, she did like a porno where she pleasures herself with various.
I was about to say
various objects.
I was gonna say something real fucked up, and I'm glad I didn't. Wait, she had sex with all of her kids?
Yeah, with all 8 of them. She puts them back in there.
I'm cutting that out, but let's sign off of
Let's
this.
keep that in there.
So until next time, everybody.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Remember to live deliciously.